About a year ago, I went and had my first DEXA scan. And if you haven't heard of these things before, it's basically kind of like an open tube CAT scan, right? You don't actually go into a cylinder, but you lie on a table and this scanning device passes over your body from foot to head. And then based on whatever beams they're sending out, they get reflected back to the software. The computer can calculate what it's seeing inside your body, what parts are bone, what's muscle, what's fat, what's liquid water or blood or anything else like that. And DEXA scans are currently considered the gold standard for things like figuring out how much of your body percentage is fat. And that's what I wanted to do. That's what I wanted to check on. I wanted to find out, okay, how did these things work? So I got my results right there in discussion with the technician, who was also the owner of this franchise doing DEXA scans. And, my body fat percentage was a little higher than I'd been hoping for, but about the range that I expected it to be, given what I know about my overall health and wellness and observing my body composition, in comparison to generic photos of the standard ranges for men and women, what your body would look like. I was in the 20 to 25% range. I wanted to be closer to 20. I was not, but all good. The thing that I hadn't expected was that this guy was also giving out results for other things like bone density. And it turned out that my bone density was very nicely higher than average for my sex and age. Now, here's what we don't know. Because this was the first kind of scan that I had ever done, and probably the first time that I'd had anything inside my body like bones imaged in several years, and certainly the first time I can remember my entire body being scanned that way, we can't tell you what my bone density was like 12 years ago, before I started working out in the gym, before I started riding my bike. We have no way of knowing. This was my baseline. It's entirely possible that my genetics are just such that I was always going to be blessed with stronger bones than average. I can't tell you for sure that all this working out I've been doing is what caused that effect. But as I've said before, degradation in my left knee of the cartilage was what got me off the couch after many, many years of just being an ordinary person, and got me to start working out and taking this aspect of my health more seriously. Osteoporosis can and does affect both men and women, even though it's a higher risk for women in general than it is for men, even so. And osteoporosis tends to get worse with age. Heavy weightlifting is well known to be protective against brittleness of bones. Doesn't necessarily cure it, but it might make them stronger. Bones are living tissue. We know from the way that somebody can have a broken bone and then the bone knits back together that even though we consider them, somewhat immutable parts of the body, they actually do live and they can repair themselves. So even if I started off with stronger bones than average, the fact that I'm 60 years old and have obvious signs of osteoarthritis in my knee, the odds are that all this work I've been doing for the last decade has at least slowed the progression of any bone brittleness down, which means that if I start having problems with my balance in the next 10 or 20 years, as many elders do, there's a better chance than average that I'll survive a fall without breaking something. Falls and broken bones are a huge risk for elders. Osteoporosis is a giant predictor of later in life health problems. Having stronger bones is a pretty good predictor of better odds of survival. And this is one reason that, although I don't try to make everybody in my life lift weights, I do encourage general fitness, because it's likely to give us a bit more protection against this kind of problem. So listen to what I'm telling you. I've been working out for a decade, and my body fat percentage is technically not obese. It could be better. But my weight and my body fat percentage are not the only things that I'm focusing on. The scale doesn't tell us everything. The scale would never have been able to tell me that I had stronger bones than average for some 60-year-old guy who spent most of my 30s and 40s working a desk job and eating whatever the hell I wanted to. Usually not the greatest stuff. Fitness is not just for weight loss. Fitness is for all kinds of general health. If you've made it this far in the video, first of all, thank you. Second of all, if this video or any of my others have entertained you, made you smile, taught you something, given you some support on your own journey for mental or physical health and fitness, please consider subscribing to the channel. And if that's too much of a commitment right now, please at least give it a thumbs up. Thanks for your time, thanks for your support, thanks for your attention. Go kick some butt, including your own, in a good way. Love ya.